One thing I'm asked a lot is what happens when you make an offer on a home and the appraisal is short of, or the value of the appraisal is less than the contract price or the purchase price. So I'm going to give you four things to think about, and then also answer the question is what happens if the appraised value is more than the purchase price too. So I want to delve into what happens when the value on the property that you're trying to purchase is less than your purchase price. So one of the four things that's going to happen on this is one, let's just say it's a $400,000 purchase. And the appraisal comes in, and let's just say, for argument's sake, that's $390,000. So it's $10,000 less than what you agreed to pay. So in that case, there's four scenarios. One, the seller agrees to reduce the purchase price from $400,000 down to the $390,000. Two, you as the buyer can make up the difference in that. So you would bring an additional $10,000 to closing to make up the difference for what you agreed to pay on versus what the appraisal value was. You somehow split the difference between you and the seller, so it doesn't necessarily have to be 50-50, but maybe the seller drops the price by $5,000 and maybe you bring $5,000, maybe they drop it by $2,000 or $3,000, you bring the other $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. Or, unfortunately, in that case, if you can't come to terms on that, then the only other possibility in that would be to just walk away from the deal. And our purchase agreements here in Indiana do say that if the appraised value is less than the contract price, either buyer or seller can immediately walk away from the purchase. So it's an option that doesn't happen very often. We of course don't want to see that, but it is something that does happen every once in a while too. So those are the options. Now, if you I get this question a lot too. What happens if it appraises for, let's say, $410,000? In that case, nothing is really going to happen. There's not any differences in there or whatever. The good news is that the appraiser that went out there and looked at that property actually thought that your house was worth more than what you paid for it, and that's good news. That should mean that you've got some equity right away from that, and that's always a good thing. And the reason for the appraisal, let's go back to that or talk about that for just a moment. The reason you have an appraisal in the first place is it's just much like when you buy a car. Whoever is going to lend you money wants to make sure that the collateral, the car, the house, in this case your home that you're getting ready to purchase, is worth at least what you're paying for it. So hopefully that makes sense. You're paying $400,000, they want to make sure it's worth at least $400,000. So if it is worth more than that, that's great for you, but that's not really going to change anything. So I have been an appraiser since 1998. If there's any issues that you have, questions about appraisals, that kind of stuff, feel free to reach out. My wife and I both, Cindy, are much more focused on the sales side, but love the appraisal side and the process too. So if there's anything we can do to help you out, feel free to reach out. We'd love to talk to you.